Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Pokemon Crystal. This is turn 7. Let's jump into things. Okay, so right off the bat we can see that we've got a little something going on here. So let's check our expansion into Haunted Woods first. Alright, we've got our mass of Ghastlies facing off against a little grouping of Team Rocket Bellsprouts. Razor Leaf, Vine Whip, not big of a deal. Some Teddy Ursas, Scratch and Faint, not again a big deal, except they do have Awe and Berserker 1, so they can kind of get into this odd mixture of sticking around for a little while longer than one might anticipate. Got some Raticates, which are kind of whatever. And got a Jigglypuff and Team Rocket Grunt Commander, also whatevers. And then we've got a Teacher, which is a Priest 1, so that is kind of concerning. Let's see what goes down. Alright, so some of our Ghastlies move forward immediately, and we might actually have to, another thing about it, I don't think I'd need to reset this horde to be, like, I need to divide them up to between melee attackers and ranged attackers. But let's just speed through this. So, the lines meet, and like I said, the Teddy Ursas kind of stick around for a little while longer than one might assume, which does lead to some deaths on our part. We lost 12, probably mostly to friendly fire, because but that's kind of how the ghosts work. Then we have a battle in Dumna, where Cyanwood City has attacked us. Okay, alright. So we've got a big ol' horde from Cyanwood City that consists primarily of Machops and Ruby White Belts. So Ruby White Belts are these 16 Mega Punch, Mega Kick, 16-20. Otherwise non-special individuals that Mankeys. And these guys are actually pretty alright if you can get them promoted up to their second tier. It turns into a Primeape instead of a Mankey. You can get them promoted up to the next tier, they get a Primeape and a couple of Mankey. So, it can be kind of interesting. That being said, there's no profit here. Nothing like that. This is just a bunch of Tyrogues, Machops, and Ruby White Belts making Mankeys, and a single Hitmonchan that spawns from the Crusher Girl. Which means no magic weapons, which is interesting considering. So, we've got a bunch of Yanmas here as province defense. We did see, I will note this. One, the Hitmonchan does do elemental damage on his punches, so that's something to consider. And generally speaking, Cyanwood City's troops hit hard enough. Well, most troops hit hard enough that if they do get through the ethereal, right, they're gonna pop a Ghastly in one hit. Typically, except they have invulnerable 15. So, and I don't think armor piercing goes through invulnerability. So it's actually a little harder for them to kill things than just against normal protection. But let's just speed through this. Pretty simple. He loses 8. Loses 4 of his white belts, 2 Machops, and 2 Tyrogues. We lose the province defense and a single Ghastly. Okay. Unexpected event in Second Forest. A hidden laboratory has been found and claimed in your name, so we gain a lab, 1 Nature Gem, 1 Blood Slave, and weightless Scale Mail. So pretty cool. And then we have 4 Ghastlies promoted in Haunted Woods. Okay, so this is... Ooh, we found the edge of the map. This is actually a very interesting turn, in that we've been discovering a lot of information, but also we've, outside of the game, in the Discord channel, we've actually gotten quite a bit of information about what's going on with some other nations. So this is apparently a very aggro game. Mahogany City and Goldenrod City are already at war with each other. That was turn 6. And it looks like Cyanwood City is going to be hyper-aggressive towards us. Turn 7. So, I mean, we're going to meet that challenge head-on. Primarily because we have to meet that challenge head-on. If he just takes land from us, especially if he takes Gol Amrod from us, we're just going to be out of the game. So, Gol Amrod completes its fort, and we're actually building a temple here. And that will be done, both of those will be done next turn. If he decides to attack us in Gol Amrod, what will he be facing off against? Well, he'll be facing off against a single Ghastly, 1 Haunter and 1d3 Ghastlies, another Haunter and a Medium, a Priest. Blue Chan 1 is actually moving out. And then we've got a Kimono Commander, a couple of Pidgeys, a couple of Rattatas, a couple of Farfetch'd. And we're bringing all of this from the capital. So we're bringing another Kimono Woman, who is leading 38 Ghastlies of a Sword Adventure, and Casper, our god. This is a roughly even-ish fight. He has about, what is that, 46 units that he would be bringing in, not including the spawn from the Crusher Girl and the spawn from the White Belts, obviously, because this is only totaling what he has. So including the spawn from those two, this is closer to 60, okay? So about 60 units that he could attack into Gol Amrod with. We can meet that with about 60-ish units as well, because you got to think all of our spawns off of our commanders, plus the province defense. Actually, I think we're closer to 70. I think if he attacks us in Gol Amrod, we're going to kill the shit out of him. I think in Dumna, he didn't have to deal with very much ethereal. I think in Gol Amrod, if he attacks us, he will have to deal with way more ethereal. I don't think he's going to attack us. I think he's going to move into the Dunes of Death, and then potentially downwards. Or he might move into Histria. I think it would be hyper-aggressive for him to immediately attack. It's already pretty aggressive. I think it would be hyper-aggressive for him to move into Gol Amrod immediately. He might choose to do that because he might see commanders there and be like, oh, he's building something, which in fact he is correct. I think if he moves in there, he's gonna die. If he doesn't die, if he wins here in Gol Amrod, well, truth be told, that's probably game for us, honestly. Like, of course, we won't die immediately. We'll hang on for, 10, 15 turns. But if he pops us in Gol Amrod, and he takes out the problem with Ecruteak, but there's a bunch of problems with Ecruteak City. But one of the problems with Ecruteak City is the money sink scenario, right? We make so little money. Every single piece of gold that we get is precious. So losing our first fort and temple so early in the game will basically keep us from building any sort of momentum. If we win here, or if he doesn't attack here, we're going to have a fort and temple up at turn 8. That's going to be very good. We're probably going to move down into Wesh almost immediately afterwards. Actually, I'm moving Kimono 1 over into Wesh, and we're probably going to start building there as well, depending on what happens over here, right? Obviously, if he beats us in Gol Amrod, we're not going to turn around and start building in Wesh. If it comes down into Histria, we're probably not going to start building in Wesh, etc. So what else are we doing? We're moving Blue Chan 1 into Wesh to start side searching around. We're moving Weldon, our prophet, over into Furia. Furia. With a decently sized army. That actually, now that I think about it, we need to do this, because I was talking about this earlier. So we need to isolate ranged units from not ranged units. Gray. These guys are definitely not. Guys are. I think everyone. Oh no, and all of these guys are. Okay. We're gonna do a hold and fire closest and a hold and attack closest. And we're actually gonna take off the Stellar Decree. Okay, so that's actually a very quick turn. Truth be told, there's not a whole lot that we can do. Like I said, we are moving, we're creating a temple here with medium 1. We're moving forces in to protect Gol Amrod. We are recruiting another White Chandler. After recruiting that White Chandler, we're probably gonna start recruiting trainer boys. Eventually, we would love to get to the point to where we can get cool trainers. Cool trainers are by far probably the best ones that we can get. Our great Chandlers are very strong, but again, I'm trying to get away from the whole madness scenario, but the problem is it costs money. So this is, I think, where Ecruteak really is a weak nation, is this issue that you have to deal with one, right? Because you take nations like Celeria or Urmor, they deal in summons, right? They don't have to rely on gold, because you know you're not going to be able to rely on gold. You take a nation like Asphodel, right, is an example of kind of a weaker scenario that is like this, in that they have to rely on gold, but also they kill their income. That's kind of what we're facing right now. I think there's an argument to be made for like the Asphodel situation. However, I think Ecruteak layers too many other things on top of it. Like, I have to deal with money, right, being an issue, and I have to deal with madness being an issue. Like, I already paid for these, and I can't even use them, right? That's a big deal. So we're probably going to get this White Chandler, and we're gonna try to get some sort of a research going. But after that, we're probably going to sink our money into trainer boys and or cool trainers, because then we don't have to deal with the madness. And it's more money, right? Marginally more money for the juniors, but definitely in a crazy amount more money for the cool trainers. Well, not a crazy amount. They're actually reasonably priced for what they are. But it's also slow to recruit, so this is going to be a hard investment, but at the end of the day, we can guarantee that we can. It's kind of the situation. I'm not a fan of madness. Like, I think there's a reason why most people don't play madness nations. That's because it's kind of a screwy mechanic. It kind of just fucks you over. That being said, I feel pretty good about Gol Amrod. I am annoyed that Cyanwood City is attacking us, because it, once again, slows down our expansion rate. We should be able to attack in Anvast this turn with this big army, and we probably should be able to attack into Histria with our god, and then we'd have another 3 expansions this turn. Instead, we're back down to just one, and not only are we back down to just one, but we're actually set back a turn because Dumna's been taken from us. Annoyance. That being said, we do have some other information up here. Azalea City has moved into 41. We're actually moving our Kimono Girl up into 48 because I want to see what's in 51 and 60. I'm assuming that there's somebody here. Because this is a big, wide open space for there not to be someone. There might be someone over in this direction instead, right? But who knows? I could move here and probably... No, I'd only get information on these two. So it's basically either information on these two or information on the... And I think I'm guessing that someone's at 51, but that might not be right. If Azalea's at 38, like I think they are, then it's very unlikely that someone's at 51. So it's probably more likely that someone's at 64. Let's go off that concept. So we're gonna check for 64. Okay. Nom 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 is up here in the Swamp of Solitude. He took this throne last turn. So I'm actually kind of curious as to why he's still here. I don't know if maybe he is... Maybe he started like a fortification or something like that on Swamp of Solitude. And maybe he's just having his god do that while he brings in an indie or something like that to finish it up. I'm not sure. We'll see. So, next time, we're going to see if this fight happens between us and Cyanwood City. By the way, like I do not take kindly to this type of thing. I want to make sure that we continue to expand nicely, but this, it doesn't guarantee, but it makes it very likely that the first person I try to kill is Cyanwood. Like, just saying, because this type of shit is annoying. And I'm gonna elf the fuck out of him. Or ghost the fuck out of him, I guess. We'll see how it goes. Alright, that's gonna be it for the turn. I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.